Hi, good afternoon. My name is Lisa Hirvonen. I'm working as a sales engineer in FuturaSun. I'm very happy to welcome you to this second episode of our online PV Summer Tour Show. So if you attended our webinar also last Thursday, maybe the first initial part of this presentation will be a bit repeating, but please stay tuned until the end because we will be facing also interesting topics today, like of course the new product insight regarding our new model Silk Pro, but we will also be facing quality issues such as eventual problems like microcracks and so. So please stay tuned with this presentation and let's get started. Unfortunately, you're not able to talk with me today, but please feel free to type any question that might arise in the chat window on your right side. If you have any question, you just write them in the chat window on your right side. And let's start with a quick sound test. So please write now in this chat window if you can hear me well, typing yes or no if you have some problems with the sound. And after that, we will get started. Okay, I got the green light to start. So after the presentation, we will be happy to answer your questions. So here with me today, we have also our CTO, Nicola Baggio, that will support me on this part. And if we run out of time, don't worry, because we will in any case answer all unanswered questions by email. So for you who don't know us, FuturaSun is an Italian company. Sorry, some technical problem with the presentation. So FuturaSun is an Italian company founded in 2008. We are specialized in the manufacturing and sales of PV models. Our commercial network is spread to more than 70 countries, and we have more than 15 years of experience in the PV market. Here's our history timeline. As I told you, the company is founded in 2008. In 2013, we started with the part of development solar farms and also the off-grid activities. In 2015, we intensified our works with the development of solar and PV plants in UK and in Germany, and we reached around 10 European countries. In 2017, FuturaSun was considered a leading brand in Europe, with sales also in Africa and in Asia. And also in 2017, we founded our spin-off company, FuturaSun. 2019, also a year with a very important milestone for us, because this year we opened our new model manufacturing facility in Taizhou, and we reached a production capacity of 500 megawatt. In the current year, 2020, we launched the Zebra panel, our back contact panel, with an efficiency currently at 21.3%. So here we are, our team. We have a worldwide team of PV experts from Italy, UK, Netherlands, Sweden, Germany, France, Venezuela, and also from China. As I told you, FuturaSun is an Italian company, but our manufacturing is done in China. We have warehouses in Europe, in the Netherlands and also in Italy, to guarantee and to serve our European market with a very quick and effective logistics service. Coming to FuturaSun in Europe, here we are present in almost all European countries with our own sales network consisting of both electrical goods distributors and photovoltaic specialists. We're working with around 70 distributors in Europe, and also here, year by year, we see increasing volumes. In 2015, we started this project development activity in Germany, and until today, we have invested and we continue to invest in dozens of PV plants in Germany. And our panels have also obtained the bankable status from several German banks. So regarding FuturaSun on the worldwide scenario, the blue-colored countries that you can see on this map are the countries where we are mainly active with FuturaSun with on-grid models, whereof the orange-colored countries are the countries where we are mainly working with off-grid sun and off-grid products. So on a worldwide scenario, we're reaching about 500 customers, serving 70 countries worldwide. Coming to our achievements in 2019, as I told you, it was a very important milestone for us because we opened our new manufacturing facility in Taizhou. Taizhou is located north of Shanghai. And in January this year, we received the triple ISO certification, so as proof and demonstration that we are working in full respect of ambient, but also operators' safety and security conditions. Coming to the production part, and our experience in technology. We have more than 15 years of experience in the production of photovoltaic models. Our panels are, of course, manufactured by an automatic production process with rigid quality controls during the entire manufacturing phase. For instance, we do electroluminescence tests before and also after the lamination process in order to guarantee that we have a high quality process and also to confirm the quality of the raw material that we are using. And so coming to production capacity, with the opening of our Taizhou plant in 2019, we reached a production capacity of 500 megawatt. We are targeting a gigawatt factory by the end of this year as installed capacity with the installation of new production lines in Taizhou. So our motto, anticipate tomorrow. This is a motto that follows us in all daily activities, and it inspires us also to always be on the forefront in the industry with the innovative products and also with innovative solutions. So our R&D team works continuously on new products, new materials, and new technologies to anticipate the needs of the market and also the market trend. Here on the slide, you can see the most recent development of our R&D department. That is a stringing machine that is specially developed to simplify the soldering of multi-busbar solar cells. Here you can see some of our references, some residential roofs in the UK, in Sweden, Lithuania, and also in Poland. Coming to industrial roofs in Ireland, Austria, Germany, and also in Brazil. Utility scale projects in Poland, Belarus, Romania. The system that you can see on your right side in Romania, those systems were installed already back in 2013. So they are producing renewable green energy already since 7 years back. So you can see from these photos that we have worldwide references. Also today we have a worldwide audience. I see that you have joined us from all the way from Sweden to Argentina, someone joining us also from India. So I'm very happy for this. And so again, a warm welcome today to this webinar today, to today's presentation. Another thing that we are also very proud of is that FuturaSun was the first company in Europe that obtained the new certifications, IEC 61215 and 61730, according to the new norm 2016, the new edition, the new launch edition 2016, with to Rheinland in Cologne, Germany. So here we are talking about renewed norms after 11 years. So this certification, the IEC 61215, has brought deep changes into the certification procedure to comply with the actual requirements of the industry. So the 2016 edition is more rigid than the previous edition, 2005, just to fulfill with the actual requirements of the industry with even higher quality standards and a more rigid norm. And the new IEC 61730 is the standard for solar PV model safety. And here we are now working with the minimum design requirements to assure the safety of the product during its operation. So as I told you, we know very well, we have a deep experience in this industry in the production of photovoltaic models. We know very well the process. We know very well the raw material. We know very well also the certification procedure. So we feel also very confident to give a good warranty on our product, probably a bit higher than the current market standard, with 15 years product warranty and 25 years performance warranty. Here you can see that we are guaranteeing 90% at the end of the 20th year. We have also product liability insurance with Lloyd's of London, and this liability insurance provides coverage for third-party damages which may occur during the model's lifetime, for example, the risk of fire. So I explained briefly about our company, about our history. So let's see also now our product portfolio, what we are producing and what we are offering. You can see our standard series, monocrystalline, polycrystalline. Then we have the next series using a little bit bigger solar cells. We have the Duetto series using the same solar cells, full square monocrystalline cells as the next series, but with glass configuration. We have our new Zebra panel, IBC panel, back contact solar cells, and our latest family member, Silk Pro, where we today are making this special product inside just for this specific model. As you can see in our product range, all the way from 280 poly up to 375, today's product, Silk Pro, the dimension are all comparable to a 60-cell standard model configuration. So the models are still quite limited in size. They're not becoming too big, even if we are increasing the efficiency and the power of the panel. So our standard monocrystalline panel is composed by 60 5-busbar PERC cells. We have an excellent temperature coefficient of less than minus 0.39% per Celsius degree. We have an efficiency that is higher than 18.3%. And this model, we can really say that it's an ideal panel if you have a limitation regarding the space. So it's suitable for any type of installation, especially for installations where we have a space issue. The polycrystalline panel, also this panel is composed by 5-busbar cells. Here we have an excellent temperature coefficient also of minus 0.36% per Celsius degree. This panel is also available in configuration of 54 cells, making a 54-cell panel 250 watt peak suitable for revamping and repowering projects. But this panel is also suitable if you want to obtain the 12-panel configuration for a 3 kilowatt residential system. So 12 panels, 3 kilowatt, 250 watt peak per panel. The general characteristics that are the same for the standard panels are a tempered glass of 3.2 millimeter for optimal mechanical stability and transparency, a maximum resistance against hail. We have a 72-cell version available for all our standard panels. The electroluminescence test is done on each and every panel in production. And we can also say that the standard panels, they're all suitable for any type of installation. As for the warranty, you can see that we have a 15-year product warranty and 25 years performance warranty. Performance warranty for these panels. Then we have the next series. Also, this panel is composed as standard by 60 monocrystalline solar cells, but here we are using a little bit bigger solar cell of 158.75 millimeter full square. So we optimize the cell surface under our glass, which means that we are increasing our power with circa 10% on standard dimension. And this panel is also available in all black version for particular architectural requirements. We are using the same solar cell used for the next series, also in glass-glass configuration. The name of this product is Duetto. So here we are using 2.2 millimeter tempered glass to guarantee a maximum mechanical resistance and also transparency. For this panel, we have reduced the frame height that, like standard, is 35 millimeter. Here we have reduced it to 30 millimeter. And as standard, it's also supplied with a black frame for a nicer or more nice architectural touch of this panel. Because with a 30 millimeter frame, we reduce also the weight of the panel. The mechanical stability of this panel is very high. We have tested it internally to a maximum load of 8,100 Pascal. So considering the three main benefits, first of all, the double glass concept reduces the risk of microcracks, nail prise, and corrosion caused by humidity, sun, and salt mist. We have a maximum fire resistance and also a very high load capacity. So thanks to these three extra benefits, we also feel confident to give an even higher warranty for this panel. You can see on the lower side on your right that we are giving a 30 years performance warranty on the Duetto panel. Coming now to our back contact panel, Zebra. Here we really have a superior efficiency of 21.28%. We have an excellent temperature coefficient of minus 0.3% per Celsius degree. If we translate this temperature coefficient to power, we can consider plus 3% circa of power in average operating conditions, only thanks to this very low temperature coefficient. This technology is developed in Europe, the cell technology, by ISC in Constance. And thanks to this IBC technology, we don't have any shades on the cell because all the contacts are on the back. We don't have any contacts on the front, giving and creating this very nice architectural appearance. We are using 120 half-cut IBC cells. This panel is also immune to LID, light-induced degradation, and LITID, light and elevated temperature-induced degradation, making the performance by time very stable. We don't have any shades on the cell, which gives us the maximum light absorption, because as I told you, all the contacts are on the back. It's available also in all black. Here we reach an efficiency of 20.69%. We have the same excellent temperature coefficient. And of course, with this total black look, when we are talking about an all black panel, this is really total black, as we don't have any contacts covering the cell surface on the front side, on the front. So coming to today's special product insight, today we are here to talk about Silk Pro, our newest, as I told you, the latest family member of the FuturaSun family. We are currently reaching a power of 375 watt peak for this panel. We are using a multi-busbar cell. Here the solar cell is even bigger. The cell size is 166 millimeter and it's cut in half. So 166 times 83 circa. We have a good temperature coefficient of minus 0.38% per Celsius degree. We have an efficiency of around 20.3%. And the half-cut design in combination to the multi-busbar technology reduced the operating current and also the internal resistance. The size of this panel is comparable. Also, this size is comparable to a standard 60-cell panel. It's just a bit bigger, but not that big. It's just a bit bigger than the 60-cell traditional model size. So coming to the benefits of this panel, we have a lower risk of microcracks and hotspot. We have less shades and more reflected light to the cell thanks to the round ribbon that we are using. We have a 2 independent section design, which secures a higher energy yield in case of shading. This panel is also available in 72-cell configuration, but being half-cut, we are using 144 solar cells. And here we have the efficiency of 20.6%. I told you that this panel has a reduced risk of microcracks due to less mechanical stress to the solar cell. And what are microcracks? Microcracks are broken cell. And often these microcracks are invisible to the eye, so we can't see them. And neither when we flash the panel during the manufacturing process, and neither the flash test managed to highlight them. So this means that often a panel, even if the panel has a problem with microcracks, unfortunately, often it's classified as an A-grade product, even if during the course of time, these fractures can have devastating effects on the model yield. There are several reasons of the origin of microcracks, and often they are linked to the quality of the raw material and to the production process. And in this case, the model manufacturer would be to blame for the microcracks. But there are also many other possible causes to microcracks, for instance, an inadequate packaging for the type of transport, violent impacts during the transport, violent impacts during the installation, and a wrong maintenance. Here, maybe a little bit too rough, maybe while cleaning the panel, or if you're listening from Sweden, maybe during the snow removal, you risk to create the microcracks on your panel. So here is a typical example of what you never should do. You should never, ever walk on your panels, because walking on the panels is really devastating for the model. I would recommend you to, my colleague will now put a link in the chat window, because that link is bringing you to our webpage, to our technical blog, where we have a video showing the devastating effects that you can see with electroluminescence test while a person is walking on top of the panel. So after looking at that video, I doubt that you will walk on your panel again, because you can really see that you're really damaging the panel if you're walking on it. Microcracks can also be caused by the transport. So we have decided to pack and to transport our panels standing on the vertical, on the long side vertically during transportation. They're also packed standing on the long frame side. And studies are showing that if you are transporting the panels like this, the risk of microcracks during transport will be reduced up to 99%. So as I told you, we cannot see these microcracks, we cannot measure them with a flash test. So do we have a consequence? If you can't see them, we can't measure them. But yes, we have a consequence, because during the operating life, the model is constantly stressed by external factors such as wind, sun, hail, and also temperature changes between hot and cold weather. And all these external fractures will start to extend the mechanical breakage in the solar cell, which can, in the most severe cases, lead to a reduction in the short circuit current, which as a result reduces the model yield. So in other words, in more easier words, microcracks can significantly reduce the power production of your system. So how do we detect them? If we can't see them and we can't measure them, how do we detect them? And the only way to detect microcracks is to perform an electroluminescence test. We can say it's like the X-ray picture of our photovoltaic model. So normally when a solar cell is working, when it's exposed to sunlight, our solar cell produces current. But if we reverse the role, so if we feed current into the cell, what will happen? If we feed current into the solar cell will behave like an LED and it will illuminate. But this light that is very close to an infrared light, we cannot see it, so we need a special camera to capture the light. And the image that we can see highlights possible breakages or degraded area or areas with shunts. So a shunt, I will show you, this is our solar cell. So the sunny side, that is the side looking at the sun, is our negative side, and the back is our positive side. So if we have a shunt, we have a short circuit, so the negative side is touching the positive side somewhere in the solar cell. And that is also becoming evident making the electroluminescence test. So our method is to perform this electroluminescence test on 100% of the panels. So each and every panel is being tested before it's being shipped out from our factory. And we do the test twice during the manufacturing process, so both before and after the elimination cycle. So coming to our general recommendations is 2 words: be kind. So don't walk on your panels because microcracks would be unavoidable. Be gentle with your panels because they are not indestructible. And if you transport the panels horizontally, don't stack too many panels on top of each other, and make sure that the pallet is robust, so not bending when lifting it. So if we load our panels horizontally, it's not the weight creating the microcracks, because we're talking about a big weight, a high weight, but also a big surface. So the weight is distributed on a large area, so that is not a problem for the panel. But the problem is happening if the pallet is not robust enough for the weight that we load on top of it. So if we have, 20 pallets, one on top of the panels, one on top of the other, and with our forklift, we lift the pallet, and the pallet bends. So this is when the microcracks occur, because when the pallet bends, also the first, second, third, maybe also the fourth model will bend together with the pallet. So this is when the microcrack will occur, when we have a bend model, maybe with additional 200 kilos pushing from the top. That is really also a devastating effect to our photovoltaic model. So if you load the panel horizontally, don't stack too many panels, one on top of the other. Maybe, I would say, maybe not more than 10 panels. Make sure that the pallet is robust, not bending, and also make sure that they are well tightened, so not moving during the transport. There are special plastic angles that you can use to secure the panel during the transport, so to secure it against movement and against vibrations. So coming to factory test versus outdoor behavior during the model's operating life. On the model label and also on the data sheet, you can read the electrical characteristics of the panel, the power expressed in watt peak, and this value is given by a test in STC conditions. So what we are doing in the factory. So all model manufacturers are testing the models with the same criteria, STC, standard test conditions. And during this test, the light is perfectly perpendicular to the panel. We have an irradiation of 1000 watt per square meter, a spectrum of 1.5, and a cell temperature at 25 degrees. This is how we do it in the factory, and also how all the laboratories are testing photovoltaic models to obtain the data that you can see on the model label, and also what we declare on our data sheets. But if we consider the real outdoor behavior of our photovoltaic models during the operating life, we have various tilts and angles. So the light is rarely perfectly perpendicular to the models, because we're using various tilts and angles. And also the irradiation level from January to September to December is changing. And also considering the temperature. So if we reach 1000 watts per square meter, maybe in June, July, surely the temperature will be much higher than 25 degrees. So considering this, and to know if we are talking about a high quality product, it's also important to consider the kilowatt hour that our photovoltaic panel is producing during the year. And there are different ways to increase the kilowatt hour production out of your models, thanks to the design of the panel, to the raw material that we are using, and so on. So now let's have a look at some of the benefits of Silk Pro that are giving you a higher production in terms of kilowatt hour. We have a half-cut design, so less impact in case of shading. So we have two independent section design. So we are talking about one glass, but with two mini models working independently from each other under the same glass. So in case of a partial shading, as you can see on this illustration, for instance, if some leaves are falling on your panel, the bypass diode in this image that you can see bypass the entire panel, while the 50% of the other on your left side on the Silk Pro panel is still operational, because we are talking about two completely independent sections. So in case of partial shading, this model will perform better. And coming also to the multi-busbar technology, because here, like the name reveals, this technology is recognized by the increased number of ribbons soldered on the surface of the photovoltaic cell. And more than an aesthetical appearance, of course, it's a nicer looking panel. This technology brings also several other benefits, like a reduced internal resistance that we can translate into more power, less shaded area of the solar cell, again translated into more power, a reduced risk of hotspot that we can translate into more security, and less mechanical stress of the solar cell, so a longer durability, and higher yield at lower irradiance, so more kilowatt hour per kilowatt peak. I told you that this panel has a round ribbon, so we have also here less shades and more reflected light thanks to this round ribbon. As you can see with the standard PV ribbon that is flat, the sunlight tends to reflect out of the panel when it hits the ribbon, the flat ribbon. But when we have a round ribbon, the light reflection is changed. So instead of reflecting the light outside, the light is reflected inside and towards the cell surface. So we have a small concentration effect in the panel thanks to this round ribbon. So again, helping us to increase the kilowatt hour production of our panel. And of course, we have also less shades, because also the ribbon itself creates a small shade on the solar cell. And when we have a round, tiny ribbon, we have also less shade on the cell created by the ribbon. So also thanks to this, we get more power out of our panel. I told you about the temperature coefficient of minus 0.38% per Celsius degree, which is a good temperature coefficient for a monocrystalline panel. And the temperature coefficient indicates the thermal model behavior, or with other words, the model power loss with increasing temperatures. So the lower the temperature coefficient, the higher the yield with high temperatures. So also this is a very important thing to consider to get as much power production out of your panel as possible in terms of kilowatt hours, a low temperature coefficient. So all these benefits can be translated into more kilowatt hours. As for the warranties, we are giving same warranties for the Silk Pro as for the standard series. So you can find a 15 years product warranty and 25 years performance warranty with 90% at the end of the 20th year. So my presentation is almost terminated. So you can see just a few slides regarding our marketing tools. As I told you, please stay tuned to our website, FuturaSun.com. We have a technical blog there where we are talking about the product insights, but we are also facing quality issues like Microcracks, hotspots, LID, and other technical things regarding model and model installation. So please stay tuned to know more about us and about our topics, what we are talking about. And you can also find a download page where you can find all our datasheet, the certifications, our company profile, and other documents, such as the warranties and also the general sales conditions when we're selling our panels. Our newsletter, we recommend you also to subscribe to our newsletter to stay tuned with our products and what we are doing. For instance, this year, unfortunately, we don't have any exhibitions and shows. But you can find us with this newsletter, you know what we are doing and where you can find us around the world, the events where we are participating. So again, do follow us not only on our webpage, but you can find us also on Facebook and also on LinkedIn. And we have also a YouTube channel where you can see our videos. So my presentation is finished. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for listening.